This is chapter 31 of Beyond Exile. It's called The Truth Rests in Turtles. We've just arrived in Singapore, Shanghai Airport. I already did some looking around, looking at Frank, and then finding that Frank has $1,850 left in his wallet from the airfare and the resort, plus all the winnings, his gambling winnings in Bali. So from the airport in Singapore, we can go west. And when we go west, it takes us into scene number 221, the Central Business District of Singapore. And there's plenty of things that we can do here in this particular part of the story. Let's start at north and work our way around. Scene 228 is the chaotic city blocks of Outram, or Chinatown. And this is like a night area, and there are, looks like lights, and Christmas lights kind of up on the walls of the tenement buildings and so forth here. From there we can go back to the Central District. East, I believe, would take us right back to the airport, and it does. Okay, so we have Chinatown to the north. We have the airport to the east. To the south, that's scene number 229, the Singapore Turf Club. Aha, the horses. Well, we know Frank's got a affinity for those, or at least he did back when he was in Yonkers. Southwest takes us to scene 225, the UK Embassy, High Commission in Singapore. And here's an embassy building here. Nothing to do there. We can go back. And then we go west. It takes us to scene 222, the historic Raffles Hotel. After checking into the Raffles Hotel, he wants to see Singapore by rickshaw. Well, we can go to room 103. So let's check that out. That is scene number 223, which is room 103 at the hotel. There's his bed and a closet space, and it says, this room will surely cost Frank a fortune. And locking closet. We can look at, I guess it's one of these. We can look at the locking closet. A big storage closet. It is empty. Nice to know. Okay. Nothing else to interact with there. We can go back to the hotel. I believe it said it wanted to see, he wants to see Singapore by rickshaw. Let's go, our last direction is northwest, which is scene number 224, the red light district of Orchard Road, bouncing through the white paper lanterns and sewer stench of the red light zone. And then from there we can go back to the Central Business District. Let's see, let's go, I guess back, let's try southwest is where the embassy was. And that takes us to scene 225, again, the embassy. Until his runner stops, dodging at a manor, crouched inside a British colonial park. So the rickshaw took us here. He gets off, and he sees at the embassy that you can go northwest. So he goes to the British embassy, which leads us to a British colonial housing park. He's greeted with kind professional smiles, escorted to the parlor, and offered unblended scotch. Oh, he's in a similar crowd as he was in the Highgate Rumba. If you recall the Highgate Rumba chapter earlier on in this game in London. The Earl of Anglesey and Edwin. We can go north. That puts us into scene number 227, a cozy room near the parlor. He's encouraged to paraphrase his taste to match one of their international girls, and soon finds himself in a tall window room talking Chinese with a student in pink negligee. And so here, near the parlor in this cozy room, we see Frank and this young Chinese girl, Luann. We look at her. She has the ivory luster of the classical Han. She's finishing up a small bowl of wonton soup, and the effect is so enchanting. He speaks to her. He asks her opinion of the I Ching and its Western translations after leg. She feels his intellectual heat and continues to eat, demurely closing her eyes to rising expectations. And we are Luann, looking at this American visitor here in the British parlor at the embassy. She looks at Frank, and she says, "The truth of the I Ching rests in turtles. The cracks in their backs reveal the cracks in ours. But our primary interest is William James, and they'd better get started." So she looks at Frank again, speaks to him. Frank's transfixed, his Mandarin's flowing downhill. It's only been 10 minutes, but he wants to pay for another hour. He suggests she refill her bowl, watching her redefine the notion of motion as she glides to the sideboard. Whoops. Suddenly, but just as she turns to frame his gaze, 3 goons burst in, check the sheets for stains, lift Frank up, and throw him through an open window to the thick magnolia bushes below. And now we see there's Luann. And there's 3 more characters. There's Zhu Jing, a goon, nasty looking thug. Then there's Singh, very nasty looking thug. Chusan, extremely nasty looking thug. Okay, but we can go out east here, which puts us out the window and onto the streets in scene 224 of the red light district of Orchard Road. There we see Frank. Now he's alive, at least, after being tossed out a window. So we look at Frank on Orchard Road, the red light district of Singapore, and that immediately puts us into a new chapter called The Thief, and we'll be Frank. But I want to pause the game there. That was chapter 31, The Truth Rests in Turtles. And I hope you're enjoying this adventure and continue onward. Thank you for watching and enjoying, hopefully, Beyond Exile.